Good afternoon, guys. Stay Weird 1993 here, or if you're watching me on YouTube, Stay Weird 1993 vlogs. Welcome back to our stream. So we yesterday we hit a realization when we were playing our. I was playing a fire mage, and I'd leveled a hunter to 112 before that, and I realized something that I liked the hunter, I liked the mage, but I said I didn't like warlock, and I wanted to investigate why that was. So I've made a Warlock, and I'm playing Destruction Warlock. We've got the leveling boost for another 3 days or something, so why not? I I want to enjoy Warlock. I really do. I want to enjoy Warlock. Just making sure we got good levels here on audio. Yeah, I really want to enjoy Warlock. So I'm going to be trying it out, seeing what we can do. Just taking some professions. I want to take enchanting. We need a runed copper rod to do any enchanting anyway. So I usually play Horde, but I've got a friend who plays Alliance, and she plays on this server, and I wanted to do something a little different. I want to try Dark Iron, because I want to get their heritage armor, and I love the Dark Iron Dwarves lore-wise anyway. So, there's that. So I'm just going to have a look at a few things here. So, okay. I also want to learn tailoring on this character as well. We'll queue for some LFD while I'm doing chores. It's literally right here. I keep forgetting I can't cast Dreadsteed. So we were going to go to Duskwood. I wonder if we can fly there. I haven't really played Alliance in a very long time. I love the Coltira models. They're cool. We'll just go full fly straight there. The whole thing with this leveling boost is that I'm not here to get anything full maxed. It just means that I've got stuff on the way to max that I can play and have fun with. So I usually play Horde, but I really want to get the Heritage Armor for Dark Iron Dwarves. I do like the Dark Irons. I'm from a Scottish family, so I very much enjoy all things Scottish. That's not offensive simply because I'm actually from a Scottish family, so... Oh, we got a dungeon pop. Nice. Is it Wailing Caverns, this one? Black Fathom Deeps. We've got a lot of Dark Irons in this. See, logically speaking, I liked how Fire Mage played, but I also liked how the Hunter played. So what's in between that? Well, I get a pet, and I also get to cast explosive things. This makes sense to me as a transition between the two. Well, that killed me. I mean, to me, it makes sense to try out Warlock. I think I should. The lore behind Warlocks, I absolutely love. But gameplay, I've never got on with, but I feel like I've always wanted one. So I'm gonna make one. Well, why have you stopped streaming what you were streaming to go make a Warlock? Well, I'm the streamer. I'll do what I want. I'm just saying. Yeah, the gameplay I'm enjoying here. If I'm quiet, I am learning this class still, so there's going to be times where I'm literally watching what's happening on my screen to try and understand it. I get the basic idea behind the class. It's just as I say, I'm no perfectionist by any means with this class yet. I'm nowhere near good enough to be in a position where I'm like, yeah, I can play this class now. It's like that's not the case. I don't. I think I'm okay with it, and I get it, but I get like what I'm doing, but at the same time, do I really? There's probably some Warlock player who's been playing Warlock a lot longer than me, and they're going, what the hell is this guy doing right now? So it's like, we're going to give the Warlock a go. See how we get on. I'm enjoying the way it plays. I just hope that there's more expansive stuff going on that we get to do. Like, I don't want 4 buttons. I want more buttons. Yeah, I'm finding that what I need. There's a lot of stuff I need to learn. There's nuances. I know I'm probably not playing this class right yet, and I'm fine with that for the time being. I'm fine with not being good at something until I know what I'm doing. So I enjoy the Fire Mage, but I think I'm gonna enjoy the Warlock more for the lore, simply. Goodbye. I know at 26 we get like Rain of Fire, which will be cool. Subjugator Korul. So Akumai is the boss, I guess, in this instance. I like that they changed this because it has more of an old god influence now, and I feel like that's better because um, it needed more context. Like I think that they updating some of the old dungeons. It's like people say, "Oh, if it ain't broke, don't fix it." It's like no, but it was dated. So I enjoy that aspect where you've got more of a context behind a story that just keeps it fresh. Because if I'm creating new characters and I'm running this, then I don't want to play the same dungeon that I've played for years. Like if they can reinvent it and keep the experience entertaining and fun, where's the harm? I know there's this like, oh, we don't like change, we don't like change, but honestly, I fundamentally disagree with that. It's not about not liking change. I think that change can be good, especially when that change comes for quality of life improvement. So this dungeon has been streamlined and the boss is altered, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that what they've done here is really good, actually. I think that everything they did to this is good. But I used to hate this dungeon. I used to think it took too long and it was boring, whereas now I actually like it. They've made it interesting for me to play. So, in my eyes, what's wrong with that? I mean, a lot of people would say go demonology, but I actually really like the idea of destruction, like the entire fire and brimstone style mechanics. I'm actually quite enjoying the Warlock so far. Anyway, I want and oh, those of you who are interested in WoW currently, I mean, the Shadowlands side of things. Anyway, Torghast is now in testing for Mage, Warlock, Priest, and Demon Hunter. I watched Taliesin playing some earlier, and I also watched some of Mr. GM and Asmongold. Some of their stuff, the stuff that's in there is quality. I mean, those guys are fantastic streamers. They could make anything sound entertaining, but you know, it's really good. I mean, those guys. I mean, I like personally. If I'm watching a streamer, my favorite streamer slash YouTuber for WoW content is Taliesin, and Taliesin and Evertel, should I say? But Taliesin. I also like Asmongold, but I'm a big fan of Preacher as well. Preacher's one of the first YouTubers who got me into WoW YouTube. So his Drama Friday and stuff like that. I really wanted to go to PreachCon, but I never never managed to make it there. Um, I like Preacher. Also because he represents kind of... I feel like he represents me as a WoW player. Someone who's been playing quite a while. Somebody who, you know, he has a family. He's a family guy. But then that said, Taliesin and Evertel have just had their child. So it's just refreshing to see that in my eyes. Because, you know, the fact of the matter is that, you know, I love playing World of Warcraft. I love all my nerdy things. I like D&D. I like all that. But I also have a family and I have kids. So it's nice to see that there are other YouTubers out there who don't shy away from the fact they've got a family. And I think that's great. It's great to see. I quite enjoy Mr. GM as well. Hazelnutty Games, all the big YouTubers for WoW. I just think that there aren't many bad WoW content creators, to be honest. Maybe me, but that's because I've got 4 subscribers, and you know. But I'm not here to get all depressive about my subscriber content. But I'm planning to build a channel. I want to build a community. I want to build a stream. I'm not here to be successful from day one, because it ain't going to happen. However, that said, if you guys are enjoying my content, please do show your support by subscribing to my Twitch, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube. comment on things. Tell me what I could do better. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. If there's anything that you think sucks, like, hey, dude, your microphone sucks, or you suck at this game, or something like that. You know, anything. Any feedback is appreciated, to be honest, as long as it's constructive in some way. Because I'm still learning this. This is something I've started to pick up and learn during quarantine. But, you know, I'm enjoying my experience. And even if I don't get a lot of viewership, because I'm not here to become famous, that's not the point. The point is I'm playing a game that I enjoy playing. I'm enjoying playing it, and I enjoy the idea of broadcasting and talking to people with that. So, whether or not people join in or not, it's just one of those things. That said, I've managed to amass... It's not a lot, but 11 followers in the sort of 2 weeks I've been doing this, and even having that level of support, I really appreciate. Because that's still 11 people who've taken time out of their day to come and watch me. Like, watch me play video games and talk absolute bollocks. So, you know, there's that as well. For the record, the Warlock is growing on me. It's growing on me a lot here. I love this Rain of Fire spell as well when it casts. I'm having... this is cool. The Warlock is starting to feel really cool. It definitely has that rule of cool to it. Basically, I get to live out all my edgelord fantasies, and I'm okay with that. And I'm not even playing a demon hunter. Chaos Bolt. And we'll put an Incinerate out. Drop another one of those. We should build up enough for a Chaos Bolt in a second. Might as well wait for my proc. There we go. So now I've got my cast reduction. A lot of this is going to be about regeneration and making sure I manage soul shard management, but I like the gameplay style so far because there's the element of I summon my imp, I get a little DPS off the imp, or Void Walker when I'm doing my own thing. Oh, hey there, demon. It's me, your boy. As I'm going along, I'm disenchanting on this, so... And it's because I want to keep on top of actually doing it this time. I actually want to level a profession. I'm gonna have to kill this thing. I don't know why everyone's avoiding it. I love blowing things up. Oh yeah, Akumai. There we go. This is fun. This feels good. I said this about all the range. I'm trying out all the range now. This isn't so funny because I was like, oh, I don't like range. I don't like range when I started playing this, and now I'm like, I'm gonna try that range class. I'm gonna try that range class. I mean, hell yeah! While we've got the experience buff, why the fuck not? But you know. Chaos Bolt incoming. That ability does feel good to use. Level up. So my question is, did the spirit of Akamai go to Nyalotha? So that was the end of that one. So what we're going to do now as well is we're going to just carry on doing what we were doing, which is we are definitely going to head into... oh, Jesus, I did a lot of it. EXP there. But there's a lot of players in this area. It's an Alliance heavy server, I can tell straight away. I've usually had an issue with the Alliance, in the past anyway, and that was just because Alliance players at the time, and this is not controversial statement anyway. At the time I used to play Alliance, I didn't like the fact that they it was just the community side of it. It felt like the community side of it was a little goody two shoes. I mean, I know that's not the case, but you know, that was just my perception. Whereas the Horde, sometimes the downside of the Horde is that there's some real edgelords on there as well. So you've got the reverse side of things where you've got the virtuous alliance or the horde who are like, you know, so it's like you can't win either way. There's negatives to playing both sides of the factions, but I suppose I could have made a Forsaken Warlock, couldn't I? But I wouldn't have got my level boost. It's nice seeing players running around in this game. I know it sounds weird, but sometimes I've been playing on servers where I've not come across another player for all of my leveling experience, and that's kind of depressing, to be honest. Whereas I went through Duskwood there, and there was so many players that it was a really nice feeling. It was kind of wholesome, you know, kind of a wholesome feeling where you're just like, you know, the game's alive and breathing, and it needs to feel that way. World of Warcraft is great at doing that, only when you've got a good server, though. So if you play Alliance and you're on like a Horde heavy server, or if you play Horde on an Alliance heavy server, you're still going to get that dead feeling. Whereas it's about finding the right one, I guess. I keep forgetting that the Void Elves are literally just blue blood elves. Well, they follow Illyria, don't they? So we just got a lot of this is like stack management, but still. Why am I casting Immolate? It's Incinerate I need to cast. And a Chaos Bolt here. Mainly, what I'm waiting for is the tick. So I could, because I get a reduced cooldown on my Chaos Bolt every 10 seconds. And you want to keep Chaos Bolt up from what I gather. It's a very effective damage tool. Why are we all stood around here? Oh yeah, there's like an RP thing, isn't there? We've got the opposite ends of the spectrum here. We've got a paladin and a warlock. I also realise how appropriate it is that somebody who practices Satanism and has a massive Baphomet flag behind them is playing a warlock. I understand that this is a cliche, and you're looking at the most cliche goth dad you'll ever see, but you know, it's one of those things. Just getting comfy. I've got to move this pillow. That's much better. I'm going to just sit this up a little. There we are. Perfect. already feel like my back is in a better place right now. I mean, God bless this chair. This chair has been incredible. I got it yesterday, and I have never known comfort playing games in this way. So, it's a life-changing experience. That was kind of depressing, wasn't it? Next thing I'm going to be upgrading is probably a camera. I need to target something first. Oh, we got Succubus. Or, other words, E-Girl. Yeah, the gameplay is actually pretty engaging here. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying building up these big chaos bolts or just casting rain of fire and burning the shit out of people. I mean, that does feel good, the gameplay. Yeah, I'll queue again. The tank declined? Ah, I see. I wonder why. To be fair, dungeon spamming is probably the best way to level at this point. Or it's going to be at our level anyway. And I don't mind dungeon spamming. I have a lot of fun doing dungeon crawl anyway, especially with the fact we get a buff to our speed for being a Dark Iron. For being an angry little dwarf, I get to run faster when I'm indoors. Every time I see cloth, I'm taking that. I will take all of the reagents because I require them. See, this is cool. Look at all these players in here right now. This is amazing. Why is it alerting me to my appearance tab? Do you know what would be cool? This, the Merciless Gladiator set. I love this armor set. I believe that's Burning Crusade, so I don't know how I acquire it, but I'm definitely interested. Probably have to do some PvP, which is fine. I don't mind doing PvP on something like a Warlock. I just don't enjoy melee PvP very much because I don't play Rogue. And if I'm not playing a Rogue, then there's no point doing PvP as a melee. That said, I did used to have a lot of fun on my Death Knight in PvP. It's just Rogues used to annoy me so much. I think the playstyle of a Rogue is fun, but, ugh, God. I need to get a Dusky Lump. Do you know Dusky Lump might be a good nickname for myself? It's me, your boy, Dusky Lump. Dusky Lump. Oh my god. What have I done? What have I done? What's wrong with my brain? Ah, that felt good. Casting that raining fire in that hallway and just watching everything die. I'm really looking forward to, based on what I've seen of Torghast, I'm really looking forward to the gameplay of Torghast. It looks hella fun. Like, it just looks crazy. Provided Blizzard can pull off what they're aiming for with Torghast, it's going to be probably one of the best features they've added to this game in a very, very long time. Personally, I believe in Blizzard with Shadowlands. I think that we are looking at something that's potentially a massive innovating expansion. I mean, the roguelike games that it's inspired by with Torghast, they're taking a lesson out of books that what they need to do is they need to throw the rulebook out a little, and I think that's what they've done. And with throwing that rulebook out, they've what they've managed to do is change the dynamic of how endgame content's going to be perceived for World of Warcraft. So I think Torghast is going to be huge, and it's going to be different. It's going to be innovative, and it's going to be fun. And that, for me, is what World of Warcraft needed. It needed something different. Dungeons and Raids, PvP, Battlegrounds, arenas, it's all fine. It's all great. It's all tried and tested. It works. But what are you bringing to the table? So you had horrific visions. You've had scenarios. You've had other content like that. So Legion, you had sort of Mage Tower, you had your Class Hall, and you've had the War campaign in BFA and stuff. You know, there's things, and Island Expeditions, of course. They've done things differently, and I like that. And I like the fact that they're trying to, even though the game doesn't require much innovation because it has a winning formula, as evidenced by the fact it's the biggest MMO out there. You know, the game's already onto a winning formula. It doesn't need to innovate, but they're trying. They're trying to make it so that the game that we're playing now isn't the same game we started playing in vanilla, but it feels like the same game. It has its own quality. And for me, that is so important. And the fact that they're trying to implement that, and they're trying to make it so that the content still feels like World of Warcraft, but it's fresh, I can't fault them. And I think that Blizzard get a lot harder time than they actually should for what they're doing in the game. There are certain elements of this game where they're not even... There are games out there that release a new game or a new chapter of their game that don't even bother trying to innovate on the formula. I'm looking at you, Call of Duty. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy Modern Warfare, but, you know, it's not the same genre, obviously, but the point I'm making is that, you know, innovation, I think, if you want, unless you want a type of game to be stale, like, you know, it needs to be done. Innovation is the key part to success, I think, especially in a modern gaming market where you can get you can go and pick up a new MMO like tomorrow if you want to. You can pick up a different MMO game. You could pick up a JRPG. I could go play Final Fantasy if I wanted to, right? Final Fantasy Online. I could go play Elder Scrolls Online. I could go play Black Desert. But I'm not going to, because I like World of Warcraft. I mean, Final Fantasy, one of my close friends, it keeps telling me he wants me to have a go. And I really think that is something that I should be doing. And I really want to do that as well. But, you know, it's something that I want to give it a go. Maybe Final Fantasy Online. But this is my friend who fell out with World of Warcraft, though, and he left WoW unhappy with the state of the game and said that it's better. So I'm thinking, well, is it though, or is it just different? Is it different or is it better? I mean, they're not the same thing, but they're not mutually exclusive. Could be different and better, but also benefit of the doubt, like, it might be a really good game. I just don't know whether I'm going to enjoy playing it. I'll have to have a look into it, though. I'm not saying I won't enjoy Final Fantasy Online, because I've never played it. But personally, World of Warcraft is where it all started with MMORPGs for me, and it's where it's going to end. So, like, if I fall out of love with MMORPGs, it's going to be because I've stopped playing World of Warcraft for me. Unless an MMORPG comes and blows my goddamn mind. You know, that reverse entropy, that looks good. I'll take that for now, because I get the haste. A haste buff, I'll take that. Yeah, fire elementals, take my fire damage. Lord Overheat. Currently taking fire damage. It's nice to know I can still burn an elemental lord. Like, oh, Warlock so powerfully can set an elemental lord on fire. Who's Warlock so powerfully can set a fire elemental on fire and kill it with fire. Next, you'll be telling me I can drown a water elemental. I mean, theoretically, I guess. But who am I to make the rules? Now, I wonder if we're going to queue for another one. I don't know about you guys, but that's a mood. I've definitely felt like that before. It's like lately I've felt like the PlayStation 1 Hagrid from the Harry Potter game, and I really don't know how to stop. And I saw that on a meme, and I felt that on a deep personal level, and I don't know how to stop. Mainly because I actually do look like PlayStation 1 Hagrid, like a low poly, hairy bearded mess who just looks like kind of dopey all the time. That's just my life at this point. Anyone got the world's smallest violin, or F's in the chat for me? There's nobody in the chat right now anyway, but... God, that made it even more depressing. Never mind. Dusky lump. Them dusky lumps, boy. Give me them dusky lumps. Help me. I've got a friend who's level 103 on this game, and she spends a lot of time in Northern Stranglethorn. Unless she's PvPing. I've never asked her what she's doing. I feel like it's none of my business. But you know what I mean? I'm like, why? Why are you doing this? Why you do this thing? I feel like I should have a macro. Every time I'm charging Chaos Bolt, I go Kame, but I'm not going to. You see, I did the dumbass thing of I leveled a mage and a hunter, and I was like, I liked elements of both of these. Now, I've got a point where I'm thinking, hang on, why don't I just play the thing that does both things? So, I'd done the thing where I decided that the appropriate thing to do was level a hunter, which I liked because it had the whole pet mechanic, and then level a warlock, mage, because I liked the whole fire magic mechanic. What other class has fire magic and a pet? I'm a dumbass. So, yeah, I'm also just wanting to dabble with these things, so, you know, it's a case of I want to find what works for me. So now we've got kill some more direwolves and get some more of them things from the spiders. And then we'll be done here. Let's get the Void Walker out. I need a soul shard, don't I? Let's take the Void Walker, just because I think the Void Walker is going to be easier for us to, while we're leveling. Because we've got a tank with us then, basically, at all times. So we need to kill 4 more dire wolves and get 3 of those dusky lumps, so... 2 more lumps. Human mage. I still find Metronome Death Knights interesting. You're basically playing a zombie android. Which is cool, but, you know, my buddy plays one, and I'm like, like, I'm just like, I respect that, but also, why have you not called it Terminator? Also, the way that armor looks on Mechanomes just doesn't do anything for me. I've never played a gnome or a goblin, and the reason for that is I don't like gnomes or goblins. Like, the way that they look. It's not because they're, like, small or anything, it's just I don't like the idea of playing an avatar that's really small in-game, especially because you won't see a lot of your transmogs really well on them, I don't think. I could be wrong, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with playing those kind of characters, but for me, I don't know, I've always found the gnomes a bit silly. Maybe that's why people like them, because the gnomes are a bit silly. I mean, that might be why they're liked, but, you know, still. For me, it's why I don't like them. It's because it feels silly. If I say the word silly anymore, it's going to lose all meaning. Silly. Some of these can be on the auction house, though. I'm going to keep anything that's BOE, because I learnt while playing my warrior and my hunter that there's some really interesting gear that you can find that drops off world bosses, or just world mobs in general. And it's really interesting because I didn't realise that they sold so well on the auction house, because they're for transmog, to be honest, most of the time, unless they're for twink. But most of the time it's because it's for the mug, and it's really cool. Even though it's like vanilla items, but they still have that merit about them of that's why they're interesting, because you can't get those appearances elsewhere. So my advice is, if you come across something that's bind on equip, rather than just sell it or disenchant it, why don't you just try and sell it on the auction house first? That's what I do. I mean, I'm not your dad. I know you have to do what I tell you, but, you know. Boom. Okay, so now we just need some more dusky lumps. Give me them dusky lumps. I'm going to stop saying give me them dusky lumps, because I feel like dusky lumps is what, if I started a country band, or a country music solo career, I'd call myself Dusky Lumps. My buddy who plays a druid called a Beat Swalls. Well, that's from a running joke that we went out for sushi. They do veggie sushi at this one place, because obviously I'm a vegetarian, so it's hard for me to get sushi because it's fish. But veggie sushi, they do it at this one place, super nice sushi in Sheffield called Sakushi. And my friend and I, well, he couldn't remember the name for maki. You know, the sort of the chocolate sort of, what's what he's describing, like kind of chewy rice chocolate dumplingy type things. They're interesting. But they're called maki, or mochi. I can't remember how you pronounce it. Either way, I know what they're called at least. And he asked the waiter because he couldn't remember. Have you got any of them sweet balls? So and then I was like, sweet balls. He was like, I said that sounds like a Freudian slip. He's like, and then he started going sweet balls, and then we started saying Sheriff Sweet Balls because he had a cowboy hat on, and it just evolved into a character from there, the Sheriff Sweet Balls character. And then it got from a point where he went from Sheriff, it was Sheriff Sweet Balls to he was coming back to Warcraft and made a Tauren druid called Beat Swalls. So it's got to a point now where he can, if he wants to, he could just. I think he should RP Sheriff Sweet Balls as a giant Tauren cowboy. And that's ironic because he's a cow and a boy. Do you see what I did there? Luckily I've not got anybody in stream right now because I could feel that joke. He's literally a cowboy now. I could feel my non-existent viewer count dropping. Like by the second. It's like that was a terrible pun. And I am not sorry, but also kind of sorry at the same time. It depends. If the terrible joke made you uncomfortable because it was a terrible joke, then I'm not sorry. If the terrible joke, however, made you laugh, then I am sorry. That means you've got the same crap tier sense of humour that I do. And I'm allowed to make dad jokes because I am a parent. I am allowed to make as many dad jokes as I goddamn like because I am actually a dad. So, you know, I have 2 daughters. I'm allowed to make dad jokes, and I've got to find a way to embarrass them. Other than showing like their eventual partners, like pictures of them doing stupid crap as children. It's a good job I dye my hair black because I feel like by the time that these kids have reached teenage years, I'll have gotten grey from the stress. I feel like my mom probably had that with having 2 boys in the house at the same time, me and my brother. So God knows what I'm going to be like when I've got 2 daughters in the house at the same time. So I have the feeling that I'm going to be well and truly stressed up to my eyeballs to the point where I would have gone grey. But, you know, kids are kids, and they're really rewarding, even though they're really stressful at the same time. Like, don't get me wrong, they stress me out, and sometimes I'm just like, Jesus Christ, please stop. But also, at the same time, having kids has been the most rewarding experience of my life, and I feel very cliche. If you don't want kids, then don't have them. But I used to not want kids, and now I've had kids. I can't imagine my life without it. Like, I'm like, what the hell did I do with all that free time? Oh, free time. Yeah, I remember having free time though. So. Level up. What's this banish? Banish is an enemy, a demon, aberration, or an element for any action. Ah, so it's a CC. Cool. I like having utility. And so now what we'll do... Calor. Okay. So. We've got to level 32, which ain't bad from where we were. What I'm going to do for now, because this was a shorter stream, and I've only been intending to stream for like an hour, is I'm going to end the stream here for now, guys. But please do tune in later. If you're watching me on YouTube, or if you're watching me on Twitch, or if you're watching my sort of after-stream broadcast that goes on Twitch, thank you so much for tuning in and checking me out. If you like what you see, drop a subscribe, follow me on Twitch, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Insta. Drop me a comment on any of those platforms. Tell me what you like and what you don't like about my content. Tell me what you think I could do better. If there's anything you'd like to see me play or anything you'd like to see me do on stream. By all means, I'm accepting all kinds of feedback because I'm still learning to do this, and this is my first sort of month streaming, and I'm really enjoying myself so far. So thank you very much for spending any amount of time tuning in and checking me out. So I'll be back later on tonight, probably about 10 PM English time. So stay safe, stay indoors, and save lives. Rock on, guys. Thanks a lot.